Tasting like a boss, narcoleptic Chihuahua Productions. That'll do it. Tasting like a boss on a Sunday. Hotter than I want it to be. It says it's gonna rain. It's not raining yet, but it still feels really humid. Hey, how you doing? And I have Dustin Henderson here. Oh, I love you. I love you. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. All right. So today's review, if you didn't already see the thumbnail, is going to be of, yes, another Starbucks coffee, okay, Starbucks Reserve coffee, and it is the New York Roastery Microblend. Look at that right there. Now, let me tell you guys, doing these reviews, you're a lot of fun. I get to engage with you guys. I get to try a lot of coffees. I get to have videos I get to keep of my dogs as I get older and older. And spend time with the kids, and just it's fun. But also, I'll learn things and I'll screw things up too. So I just want to be very open with you about something I kind of screwed up. We've been doing the Nitro Press reviews for a while now, in our 4-way reviews and also by themselves. For those who don't know, this is a Nitro Press here. It's charged with nitrogen. The machine I have pulls the nitrogen from the air, so I don't need to have cartridges. So yesterday I did a review of a really good coffee, whiskey barrel aged by Starbucks. And I learned a couple of things. As the day progressed, I was having more of the nitro cold brew, and I really noticed that the flavor was getting better after the review. So I decided to look into it, and it turns out that I really should be dispensing the Nitro Press earlier in the review and allowing at least 30 to 60 seconds for the nitrogen to, for the curtains of the nitrogen to rise up, and then have it then. I will tell you, I don't think it's really hurt the reviews because I've already said that the Nitro Press is a great product, but I noticed a discernible difference, and then it improved even more when I waited a little bit. I think in my review of this one here, I said the Nitro Press seemed to mute the flavors a bit. And that really was not the case. It just added to it. Another thing, just so I know, is that in these Starbucks Reserve flavors, or roasts, I had to look them up on the internet because I want to learn more. Well, I'm an idiot because had I just flipped the card over, there's the information on the coffee. So if you go back to this review here, you can raise my opinion on this coffee even further for everything. This is an exceptional coffee. And that doesn't really bode well for this one here, okay? Because that whiskey barrel aged one they did, hey, see Dustin, was so good that I fear that it might be overshadowed, or it might overshadow this one, the New York Roastery Microblend. Now that we know the secret of, flipping the back of the card here, I can tell you that this particular roast is only done at that New York Starbucks Reserve. So you can't go to your other Starbucks and purchase it. Maybe you can get it online. I don't really know. But I can tell you that this was pretty special. Now, as far as getting stuff, I wanted to wear some New York stuff, and I realized when we went to New York, I didn't get any New York stuff really except for these coffees for myself. I got stuff for other people. But I do have this shirt from Fort Ticonderoga, which is in the state of New York. So you know what? All right, I fumbled into another New York thing. Okay, so this one here on the back has a description of New York. We're going to skip that. And it says New York Roastery Microblend, effervescent and sweet, highlighting notes of Meyer lemon, baking chocolate, and coconut with a butterscotch mouthfeel. Butterscotch mouthfeel. Okay, cool, I guess. That's neat. I will say that the youngest daughter of Boss tried it, as did Boss of Boss. Youngest daughter of Boss said, I'm not getting all that, but I do think it's good, and Boss of Boss said it's good. I haven't had it yet at all. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to be doing it in the cold brew for 24 hours. We're going to be doing it in the drip, and no, it isn't New York particularly. It is a Wicked Broadway mug, so still keeping the theme alive. We are going to be trying it in espresso, and we are going to be trying it in the Nitro Press. And I have a Fort Ticonderoga glass, so also New York. What we are going to do is we're going to shake this up and we're going to dispense it now so it's ready to roll when we get to it. Let's see if it changes the experience. For those who really like to see the press, here we go. Boom, look at that. Look at that goodness. Nice, huh? Just look at that. Amazing. There you go. Here's the cold brew. Here's the nitro press. We're gonna let this sit and settle for a little bit. So let's get down to the smelling of the New York Roastery Microblend. See what we think. Intense coffee scent. Not overly tobacco-ish. Just a nice, good coffee scent. All right. Keeping it strong. Let's go with the cold brew first. Tasting like a boss. Fruity notes are definitely there. Not sour. It's actually quite good. Yeah, it's an exceptional cold brew. You know, brightness in cold brews is not my thing. You guys know that if you're watching my videos. The fruity notes typically are not my thing. Am I getting Myers lemon? Yeah, I guess I kind of am. Coconut? Not really. Coffee with a little Myers lemon hint to it. Chocolate. The brightness is not over the top. Yeah, it's a really good cold brew. It is not going to be as good as the whiskey barrel aged one because again I thought that was amazing, but this is a solid A. So very, very good cold brew. Better than any other cold brew I've had from Starbucks with the exception of the whiskey barrel aged one. So let's move to the drip. A little bit of a fruity aroma off of the coffee, tasting like a boss. The drip really brings out that fruitiness. It's not for me. Too bright. Doesn't become sour. Well, actually, you get a sensation of sour right in the front end. Bright sour, but it falls away. And that's a lot better, as far as I'm concerned, than the alternative where it ends on a sour note. Coffee's an in sour note is just not my thing. I connect that with almost being rancid, especially if it's really sour at the end. Here, I got a very nice sharp brightness, lemony, very much lemony on the front end, and then it falls away into the chocolate, and yeah, a little bit of coconut, and a little bit of earthiness that does not exist in the cold brew. But for me, the cold brew really pushes that sour element in the front end much down, very far down to the point that it's not like that at all. Just too bright for me, but for those people who like a fruity, bright coffee, but not overly sour because it does not end sour, this will be for you. I think you will like it, but for me, I'm gonna probably skip in the drip. It's just not my cup of tea, cup of coffee, what do you want to call it? All right, let's move to the espresso. Very heavy on the chocolate notes on the scent. Tasting like a boss. You know, I was fearful that the espresso method would make it even more sour and more bright, and it doesn't. The bright aspect is pushed down quite a bit, allows the more earthy elements of the chocolate to exist. Also, am getting a little bit of sharpness of the lemon, but in different parts of the tongue. Not so much in the far back of the tongue where it can feel kind of weird when you feel that sharpness there. Just along the edges of the tongue here, which is where I think you should normally receive that flavor. And yeah, I mean, it's good. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend you using it for espresso. Again, with so many good options for espresso, this is not going to it's not going to wow you. So why even do it? So let's move to the nitro press. We've given it time to settle. We now have a little stout-like head on the top. which is apparently what I should have been doing the entire time. Let's do the cold brew by itself first to remind ourselves. Again, coming back to that, so nice, so nice. Now, with that flavor in mind, now that we've just added nitrogen, what happens? Tasting like a boss. Scent, no different. Yeah, that's quite good. It's gonna be better on the nitro press. It just is. Slightly, not a significant change. There was usually the nitro press creates a significant change. Here, I'm not really getting that. I'm just getting a creamy aspect to it, which does improve it quite a bit, but at the same time isn't radically or muting the flavors that much at all. So yeah, so for me, I'm gonna skip the drip because it just isn't good for, I don't think it's good personally for my taste. I'm not gonna be doing the espresso because that's a waste. I'm gonna be doing the cold brew, and in all likelihood, because it's, you know, I'm not gonna be going back up to New York anytime soon that I think of to grab another bag. And as a result, I think I'm going to be using it almost exclusively in the nitro press on the weekends when I'm taking some time to myself and having a nice nitro press cold brew. So I'm going to enjoy this the rest of the day. Until next time, people, hit like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for going on this taste journey with me. And as always, keep tasting like a boss. Thanks so much.